It's the truth that in love and war, worlds collide and hearts get broken. I wanna live like I know I'm dying. Take up my cross, not be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend you, lock it. I'm tired of all of these walkers saying, come with me. Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. Creeps in like a thief in the night, without a sign, without a warning. We are ready and prepared to fight. Raise up your swords, don't be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend you, lock it. I'm tired of all of these walkers saying, come with me. Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. There's a war going on inside of me. To not be afraid. There's a war going on inside of me.
Quarter here. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Sam Bachman.
Beating down the outside, give the win to Patrick Spangler.
Four, not enough. Jack Hit gets the win here at Eldora tonight.
Mackey trying to counter, won't get there. Dino wins in the 358.
Flag waves, give it to the Samaconda, Sam Bachman.
Trevor Garou got the flag in sight, and he will get the victory here.
Door shut, final time off of 4. Christensen takes the checkered flag.
And it's a close race. It's going to be Shreves getting the win with Grammy.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, give it to Gavin Chatham. Light some fireworks for the 007. Brockman brings home the win. The Iceman brings home the win. Give it to Chad Griggs.
It's the night we've been looking forward to all week long. In just a couple hours from now, we'll crown a champion in the 7th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals, all benefiting the Steve King Foundation. "50 laps will be our championship A main. And we'll know the final few drivers in just a little bit as it's soup time. We'll have a C main, then a B main, last chance showdown, and then our 50 lap feature. We're so glad you could join us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Marty Scala alongside Robert Hill Jr. We've been looking forward to this all week long, Robert. What are the vibes for you right now? Oh, hang on a second. Give me one moment here. Now we're good, go.
There we go. It's been an exciting day. Everyone's excited to get going here tonight. We got the C main kicking off here in a couple minutes. Looks like we'll have about 9 drivers take to the field for tonight's C main. We're going to take 4 out of that one, and then we'll go to the B main where we're going to transfer the top 5 from the B into the A here tonight, and that's a little bit different than what we expected, but unfortunately the pole sitter from our pole shuffle, Blake Chapman, not able to make the A main tonight.
Yeah, no salesman, unfortunately, so that will put Chad Griggs and Dean Reynolds on the front row for this evening. But when you look at the lineups from the C main to the B main, who has the best chance, I guess you could say, at playing a little soup tonight?
Man, I think you got to look at it, and you look at guys like Jake Morris, Steve Bixler, those guys starting inside of the second and third row here in the C main. I would definitely expect them to be able to move up and maybe have something in that B. Steve Bixler has been very quick so far this week. He just has not had luck on his side. He's been caught up in quite a few incidents here so far, and that's kind of put him where he is in the C main. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that one. Obviously, going into the B, you got to watch guys like Dodge Smith, who was pretty quick, as well as Ryan Elzey coming from deep in that B main.
Well, the field is rolling off here for our C main. If you are in the B main or the A main this evening, you have to pay very close attention. When the race grids, we will let you know. Here's the lineup for the C main this evening as it's Jeremy Christensen on the pole position in the DAV 16 with Ed Harris to the outside in the 280. Row number 2, Jacob Morris in the 411. Next to him, it's Joe Musso in the 028. Row number 3, the Mayor, Steve Bixler in the 75. Next to the Wild Child, Jonathan DeHoffingen in the 088. Row 4, Bob Curtis in the 12. Next to Bud Molyneux in the 883. Final driver on the grid is Rick Main in the 187. Good to see him with us here tonight. Hasn't been with us all week long. Top 4 will transfer into our 22 lap. Last chance showdown later on. We'll be talking with the winner of the C main in just a little bit. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Already have 30 people watching here on finals night. Awesome to see. Hello to Joe. Hello to Megan, both checking in. We're ready for a fun night. The biggest night of the year for the Coast to Coast Racing League. Jeremy Christensen and Ed Harris set to bring us to the green flag. iRacing pace car is on pit road for the final time this week. Let's go racing here in Knoxville. And it was a stack up right from the drop of the green flag. Christensen and Harris leaning on another as they're side by side for the race lead. Christensen with the slider on the 28 as he leads the opening lap. Musso got stacked up there with Harris right in front of him. Allows DeHoffingen to take away the second spot in turns 1 and 2 for right now. Musso's a guy to keep an eye on here because this was the man that was in a transfer spot going into the final lap last night at Hard Knocks and didn't make it in, Robert.
Yeah, watching Joseph Musso, he's having himself a good run here, putting himself in the second spot a couple laps into this one. Again, 15 laps the distance for this C main. As watching the battle for the third and fourth spots, a lot of drivers right there behind them with an opportunity to jump into that big show. Is Ed Harris and Jonathan DeHoffingen holding on to the final spots?
Oh, no! Big grip for Steve
Wow.
Bixler. Side over side, end over end. Jacob Morris also involved. And no caution per iRacing. Will stay under the green flag, but that was a big one. So it's Christensen, Musso, DeHoffingen, and someone else took a wild ride. Side over side, end over end. That's Ed Harris doing a bunch of front flips. Can he land it? No, he cannot. Was flipping down the entire back straightaway.
Oh, my.
If he landed that, go ahead.
That first wreck was major net code on that one. Those guys weren't even close together, and it just absolutely sent them. And, you mentioned Harris was flipping. I tuned in about 30 seconds later, and he was still flipping down the backstretch.
Oh, that's a very hard hit for Bixler. With 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rotations in the air. You saw Morris also get involved. But then Ed Harris, now if he landed this, that should have been an automatic spot in the feature this evening. Look at that airtime he had.
Wow.
Great form through the air. Unfortunately, just landed on his noggin.
Well, and the unfortunate thing for Ed Harris is he ended up having to tow back to pit lane, so he's going to lose a fair bit of ground on this one and really have himself on the back foot for any opportunity to potentially race his way in to the B main. Obviously, can't count him out yet because caution laps don't count, but I've not yet seen the crew put the new wing on top of that Ed Harris machine, so I believe he's still in the towing process down on pit lane.
Yeah, you can see the net code there that Morris dealt with. Let's right on board with him. That was on board Bixler moments ago, and yep, Bixler just takes an incredible lick.
So Morris able to continue on though, Marty. He's just exiting pit road now. He'll still have a shot to make himself into the show.
And watch this for a ride. Should have warned those of you that suffer from motion sickness, as these are just perfect flips.
Oh, man.
Let's watch another angle of Harris's crash.
And
Yep,
while you're
caught
doing
the
that,
right
Ed
rear.
Harris exiting pit road as well, so everyone going to be able to continue on.
Look at the air time, even through his flips, as we're back to the green flag.
That's wild.
So it's Christians in that hold serve, but Harris not able to get that thing really fired up. It's still slow on the racetrack, and Jonathan Tehoffigen has taken advantage of a lot of this. He's up into the 4th position with Bud Molyneux trailing him. We're watching, and they get together on a hard crash. Molyneux is stuck in the fence, and Tehoffigen flipping side over side. They were racing for the final transfer spot, and that was a little bit more than racing. That was too hard racing.
That was ascended deep into the corner and not really worried about anyone being on the outside kind of racing right there. And unfortunately for Jonathan Tehoffigen, he's got some heavy damage on that wing. He's not able to make it back around without spinning out.
Two hard hits all around. Wow.
Wow.
Let's ride on board with Molyneux. Imagine you're driving that car and all you just see is wall. You can't even see the track. And it's not just that. You're seeing the wall upside down. On board with the wild child himself, Jonathan. And then just starts cartwheeling. Biggest help in all of that, the retread himself, Bob Curtis, is now in a transfer spot here, Robert.
Wow. Yeah, that's some good luck there for Bob Curtis. He has not had the greatest of Nationals weeks so far. He's been caught up in a lot of incidents, and all it takes is putting yourself in the right spot. And Ricky Mayne, another one of those guys, he's up 6 spots, currently sitting in the 3rd position. And one quick note before we go back to green here in a second, Steve Bixler has parked it. He is done for the Knoxville Nationals.
That's a tough break for Mr. Mayer. He'll now start to prep for, if he's going again, to his trip to Knoxville in a couple weeks from now as we go back to the green flag. Past the halfway mark here in the C-Main. Musso and Maine side by side for the 2nd spot into Tehoffigen. Immediately moves his way back up into 4th off for a quick repair. And Bud Molyneux as well in 5th. So Curtis has dropped to the 6th position, trying to hang on to the race car. So Tehoffigen, even after the wreck, is in the 4th spot. We watch the race for P2 here, Robert. Rick Mayne all over Joe Musso for 2nd.
Yeah, Ricky Mayne having himself a good run, dipping down to the inside as we'll come around, have just 5 laps to go here in just a moment in this C-Main. But everybody chasing down Jeremy Christensen. He's having himself a hell of a run right now, holding on to that top position as Mossel and Mayne battling it out for the 2nd position, nose to tail down the front stretch. Mayne gonna dive it in deep down on the bottom side into 1. Big slider gets himself by Mossel for the 2nd position, as now he's gonna try to battle back down to the bottom, but move Ricky Mayne up into that 2nd spot, and he's got a little bit of clearance behind.
You see that car bouncing around at the same time on the cushion, nearly biking it. 4 laps to go, though. Oh, man, almost biked it once again. Rick is hanging on to that race car. Again, he started from last after not running in any of the prelim nights earlier this week, nor hard knocks. Imagine if he get a win here so far.
Yeah, this is one of those guys that you can never really count out. And no matter what kind of car it is, no matter what track he's at, if he has to start at the back, you can kind of count on him being up there towards the end of it. As we've got 2 to go here in this one. Battles on for the top spot. Christensen leads, but Ricky Mayne right there behind him, nose to tail down the backstretch, as we're going to get set to come to 1 to go this time by here in the C-Main, Marty.
Rick Mayne looking to go up 8 spots here possibly and steal it from Jeremy Christensen. He's got a chance here through turns number 1 and 2. Throws the slider. leader. Rick Mayne out front of the race lead. Traffic ahead. That's Bob Curtis in the old 12. Doesn't be a factor. Christensen with a slide job. Mayne able to counter it back. Side by side to the line. Give it to Rick Mayne on the last lap pass.
Oh, man. That was hot.
Rick Mayne with the win. Christensen second. Musso third. Tahoffagen in fourth. They'll transfer in. Everyone else will see their nights come to a close. So Rick Mayne is trying to pull his own impression of Doug Wolfgang and have a soup run himself, possibly.
That was wild. And then you throw in the factor of the lap car right there, Bob Curtis right at the end. Rick Mayne still able to stick it out, get it done. Now he's going to have to try to work his way up through that B main, and I don't think we can doubt him one bit in that 22-lapper.
I want to give credit here to Christensen. Even with the lap traffic in the way, he never lifted.
No, why bother? You're in a good spot. As long as you finish at that point, the top four were the only cars left on the lead lap. If you finish that C main, you're going to put yourself into the show or into the B main anyways. So great drive by all those guys transferring in.
Look at your results there. Mayne winning by almost a tenth of a second over Jeremy Christensen and company. See if we'll talk with Rick Mayne there, but we'll get ready for the B main in just a moment. That's 22 laps, the last chance showdown, and that should definitely be a fun one. So in the meantime, we will step aside here, wait for the B main to get going. If Rick Mayne does join the waiting room, we will talk with him and come back and cut back from break. In the meantime, stand by. We'll let you know as well when the B main goes live right here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
When Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to helped push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life and it's the lives of racers everywhere is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
You know, that break actually just made me think of this. I had this note passed on to me last night, but want to give our thoughts and prayers out to Grady Chandler, who was in the Steve King Foundation commercial. He was a past recipient a couple years back. Lost his dad to cancer a couple of days ago. Grady, if you are watching, we're thinking about you. Our thoughts and prayers to you and your family. So we welcome you back, though, into the broadcast booth for right now while we wait. Marty Sakala alongside Robert Hill Jr. And we learned a lot. I know that C-Main, it was a wild one, especially in the race for fourth. Could mean the LCS gets a little bit wilder, too.
Yeah, absolutely. We just had one heck of a show there in just 15 laps. That C-Main had probably 9 out of the 9 drivers in a transfer spot at some point or another throughout that one. And coming down to the line, we saw lap traffic come into play, and those guys up front, they weren't afraid of it. They threw it in there and battled it out and put on one heck of a show. But really excited to see what we have coming up here in the B main. We just saw the starting grid over in the Discord channel, and man, it's going to be a fun one. We'll see if all 18 drivers show up for this one. We're going to take the top 5 from the B-Main and bring them into tonight's Knoxville Nationals.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Dean, Jeff, and company for doing that because of no Blake Chapman this evening. Race Control has decided to put an extra driver from the B-Main into the final. I love that. Great decision by them. So,
Absolutely.
we'll let you know, B-Main drivers, when your race is gridding. But a couple of notables we should talk about here in this B-Main that I see right off the top of off here when it comes to the non-drivers, the drivers that did not transfer, or actually the drivers that just made it from the C-Main. First driver that comes to my mind right now, Connor Ross starting 4th this evening.
Yeah, this is a driver with sprint car experience, Marty. Obviously, Connor Ross, a very strong competitor. Excited to see what he can do. He's going to come from the outside, tentatively right now, from outside of row number 2. But we'll see what he has in play for these guys tonight.
Yeah, Connor definitely one to watch out for. Dodge Smith as well, starting 6th, had a wild ride Monday night in his prelim where he decided that he couldn't park on the fence, to say the least.
Yeah, he wanted to throw the excitement factor out there for everybody watching, and he absolutely did that. He's going to be coming from just behind Connor Ross there outside row number 3, and this is another guy that I definitely think is going to be in contention for one of those transfers.
Scott Tomasin as well. He's starting 5th this evening. This is a guy that, in my opinion, I thought was going to definitely make it into the top 16. Was very fast throughout the week. Unfortunately, didn't go out to plan. A couple of crashes, couple of flips he had during his prelim night, and led to him in the points starting in the B main.
Very strong competitor. Like you said, I expected him to be top 16 as well, locking himself into the show there, but unfortunately not quite able to do so, and he's going to have to come from the B main tonight, and if luck plays on his side, I would not be surprised to see him obviously in the A main, but also potentially fighting for a really good finish.
Any drivers that could surprise you here this evening?
Surprise? No. I'm still watching Ricky Main here in the B main. He's going to start in the 15th spot, but this is a guy that, like you said, he hasn't been here yet this week. So if he was, I think he might have been playing in that pole shuffle with those guys yesterday, but he's going to come from the B, see if he can make it into tonight's Knoxville Nationals, and definitely keep an eye out on him. But otherwise, Ryan Elsie's had a pretty decent week, just luck again, not on his side. And shout out to Armando Melgoza. He was one of the drivers to win the auction for one of the final couple spots in the race, and he tried to give the spot away to Jeremy Christensen, but Christensen currently sitting in one of those provisional spots coming from the Veterans and First Responders race.
Yeah, those auction provisionals up for grabs as well to buy yourself into the show with all proceeds going towards the Steve King Foundation. See who's checking in here in the chat. A lot of Tohofgen fans very happy. Einik says, I'm probably going to suck in the B main, but I'm glad to be part of this race. I mean, don't count yourself out.
Yeah.
So, all the kids and family
You
from
made it this
Tohofgen.
far.
Yeah, absolutely. All the kids and family from JT, they're all watching on the 85-inch TV.
Nice.
Yeah, so. Let's see here. B main's still not live yet. They're working on that. So it should go up in just a couple of minutes. Then we'll go back to another break. Let's see if we can bring in a driver here, possibly. Oh, you know what we can bring in? Let's bring in our C main winner, Rick Main. Rick, you got us. It's Marty and Robert.
Yeah, what's up, Marty?
Man, a nice ninth to first charge after not having a lot of experience this week compared to everybody else.
Yeah, I couldn't keep it off the berm, and I think I ended up net coding through somebody, so I apologize for that. But a little rust I had to knock off, so unfortunately, feel bad for whoever that was. But yeah, outside of that, pretty solid run.
I tell you what, though, you're looking very fast. Do you think you have a chance to maybe pull a Doug Wolfgang and make it from the C main to the feature?
I was just looking. It looks like we have 22 laps, so that's plenty of time. If we can get the track burn in a little bit and, make it to where it's a little more of a driver track and not so wide open around the top, probably going to need a couple cautions to help. I'm sure we'll get a couple, and as long as we can stay clean, I think we have a chance to at least make it to the top 5.
Robert, you got anything?
Obviously, don't want to look too far ahead, Ricky. You obviously still have to make your way in through the B main, but if you're able to lock into the big show tonight, what would your strategy be coming up from the back of the pack in that 50 lapper?
Well, I can't exactly tell you that, but let's just say I've ran a few of them now, and I definitely have a game plan on kind of what to do with these bigger, longer, races where you're really trying to save some fuel and stuff. So we definitely have a game plan, but we got to get there first.
Well,
Absolutely.
Well, before I let you go, Rick, who you want to give shout-outs to?
Hey, man, I'm a free man. I don't have anybody on the car anymore. I am running an old RTB set, and, Aiden builds some really good stuff over there, so I will at least give him a shout-out. And as you can see, even some of his older stuff still looks pretty fast, so it works for me.
All right, man. Well, we will let you go. Best of luck tonight, and we'll see if you can make it in from the B main to the feature.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys, and got to thank all you guys still here at the broadcast and the whole C2C community. I mean, the whole reason I stick around here is all the great stuff we do with the charity events and everything like that. So awesome that we still put this on, and yeah, I just got to give a big thanks to all you guys that helped do that.
Absolutely, definitely appreciate it. So there goes Rick Main. As we await the B main. B main is live, drivers. B main is live. So we'll step aside here, take a break. Stay with us on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
When Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
It's the truth that in love and war, worlds collide and hearts get broken. I wanna live like I know I'm dying. Take up my cross, not be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. 'Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend your lock, and I'm tired of all of these walkers saying, come with me. Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. Creeps in like a thief in the night, without a sign, without a warning. We are ready and prepared to fight. Raise up your swords, don't be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. 'Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend your lock, and I'm tired of all of these walkers saying, come with me. Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. There's a war going on inside of me. To not be afraid. There's a war going on inside of me.
Quarter here. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Sam Buckman.
Beating down the outside, give the win to Patrick Spangler.
Four, not enough. Jack Hitt gets the win here in Eldora tonight.
Jackie trying to counter, won't get there. Dino wins in the 358.
Flag waves, give it to the Samaconda, Sam Buckman.
Trevor Guru got the flag in sight, and he will get the victory here.
Door shut, final time off of 4. Christensen takes the checkered flag.
And it's a close race. It's going to be Shreves getting the win with Grammy.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, give it to Gavin Chatham. Light some fireworks for the 007. Brockman brings home the win. The Iceman brings home the win. Give it to Chad Griggs.
A look on top the Knoxville Raceway as we get ready to go for our B main. Just a couple cars away from Gritty. Marty Sakell alongside Robert Hill Jr. And Robert, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the door prizes up for grabs here tonight throughout the week here at the Knoxville National. So many great supporters here putting together prizes here for drivers. I know you've been part of some of them too.
Yeah, good group of door prizes up for grabs here this week. A lot of free wraps up for grabs from some great designers in this iRacing world. Velocity Race Design, one of those, as well as Grand Slam Graphics. Just Racing Boys Designs, Regal Wraps and Designs, all offering up free wraps. JT Graphics also offering up a free wrap and a driver poster card, and Vertex Graphics also offering up a free wrap. Babs Motor Speedway giving out 2 free general admission tickets to their racetrack as well. The Mohawk International Raceway, 2 tickets to the September race weekend there, September 18th and 19th. That is a big event with Dirt Car 358 Modified, Sportsman, and Pro Stocks all on the card as well. Regal Promotions Esports giving a free membership to their 305 Sprint League, and Dirt Car Esports with a free entry to the Empire State Showdown. That is their next big event with the big blocks coming up here real soon. I don't know what the date is on that one, Marty, but that should be an exciting show there as well.
Absolutely. That's always a good show with Dirt Car Esports. They never disappoint. Last race we had with them, the late models at Eldora, and we had a last lap pass for it to happen. And then a lot of bonuses as well up for grabs here, not just for tonight, but also throughout the entire week, too.
Yeah, I don't have that list on hand with me if you got that one, Marty.
Yep, I got you there. So we had A&J Custom Creations give out $25 quick time to each of the prelim night fastest drivers in qualifying. Hard Charger bonus courtesy of Gears Unlimited, $10 in each of the prelims. The Nationals have $15. You got We Let the Dogs Out Pet Care Services for you. Last car in the lead lap bonus, $10 to each driver in the prelims and the Nationals. Addison Bowman Racing giving $5 out to the 12th place finishers. They also gave out $12 to the 5th place finisher in Hard Knocks. Then the first driver 55 or older, that's part of the Bill Calder retreads, gets $25.
Nice.
Take a look at the times of the moment. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone after what we saw in the C-Main, Robert. Rick Main, the quickest, the 15.487.
Yeah, Ricky Main's absolutely on a rocket ship here tonight. He's almost 0.2 of a second quicker than Scott Thomason, who holds on to the second spot right now in this B main warm-up session. And another driver that has come out of the C main now into the B main, third in the overall times, 15.662 for Jonathan DeHofchen. So 2 of our drivers from the C main currently first and third here in B main warm-up. We've got about 4 minutes left in the warm-up session before we hit the grid for tonight's 22-lap B main, and this will be the final group of drivers trying to qualify their way in to this year's Knoxville Nationals. Excited for that one. And just taking a quick look through the field, we're missing 3 drivers that have not made it out yet. So if you do have connections with these guys, let them know it's time to go. We're only a couple minutes away. We're missing Steve Maurer, Connor Ross, and Terry Landis. Those 3 drivers not yet here, and they are slated to roll off 3rd, 4th, and 13th respectively in this B main. So if they don't come, then, well, we're going to move up an entire row as the whole second row not here.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's bring in a couple of drivers here while we are at it and waiting. I want to bring in somebody that's in this race here, and we've got him. We'll bring in the Brewerton Beast himself, Jeff Barker. Barker, it's Marty and Robert. You got us?
Hi, Marty.
All right, man. We are early here in practice. How's your car feeling right now going into tonight?
Good. Just doing a final fuel test, trying to decide whether I want to make any slick adjustments or not.
What's going to be the big key to this when you're starting 8th? What's it going to take for you to jump up 3 spots tonight?
I'm pretty confident that I can do that. It just depends if I can stay out of trouble, because I haven't been staying out of trouble very well all week so far. So,
Robert, you got anything?
Jeff, did you have a chance to watch that C main, see what those guys did there towards the end? Did you learn anything in that quick 15 lapper that you can put into your race here in this B main?
Yeah, I saw that the track pretty much stayed tacky middle and up, and the bottom was a little usable at entry. But I don't know what's going to happen here, because we have a little bit more cars and we're having a little bit longer opening session here. But yeah, the track should hold.
All righty, man. Well, Jeff, before I let you go, who you want to give shout-outs to?
As always, broadcasters for helping us out doing this. Steve King Foundation, Knoxville Raceway for letting us use the semi likeness. The Westbrook family for watching and helping us out. And sorry, I'm trying to steer at the same time. And
We'll let you get
yeah,
back to work.
shout out to them.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we'll let you
All
get
right.
back to work and focus. So good luck tonight, man.
All right, thanks.
The Brute to Beast, Jeff Barker on the 513. And while we were talking with him, Robert, I saw this from the corner of my eye. You got to watch this crash that Malgoza had. Hang on a second. Look, watch this wild ride he took. Someone got
Was that the one? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. And we're talking
Him and Mark
practice here.
Billen coming together in that one. That was absolutely insane. Billen off the wall, gets into the side of Malgoza, sends him down in the wall. He climbs a couple of corners and tries to continue on after that. That's wild, man.
Only an iRacing, I guess. So
Absolutely.
here's Thomason in the number 6. New paint scheme, too. I don't think I saw that ride last night. No? Or am I wrong on that? He's got the Quaker State number 6 this time.
Oh, yeah. No, that one's just showing up for me now. It's looks like it's brand new. Looks good, though.
Yeah, it definitely looks nice.
I had him in the all-black 6 machine earlier, and now it just updated, so.
You know, we were talking about Rick Mayne coming from the C, maybe to the feature. You could possibly say the same about Tahoffigen and Christensen. Christensen 5th quickest at the moment, Tahoffigen 3rd quickest.
Well, the one good thing going right now for Jeremy Christensen is he likely does have that provisional to fall back on, so he is likely to make it in to tonight's A main, but nonetheless, he'd love to work himself up and get himself a little bit of a better starting spot than one of those provisional spots at the back.
Absolutely. All 4 of our transfer cars, by the way, starting in, or well, they are in the top 6 in practice. Joe Musso, the last of them, 6th quickest, this 1574.
If you tell me I'm last and I'm 6th quickest in a group of cars like this, I'm pretty happy. That's not bad, but yeah, it's not about how you practice, though. It's obviously about how the race goes, and there's going to be a lot of different factors that are going to come into play here in this one, where you're going to have to deal with lap traffic. You're going to have to deal with a couple restarts, most likely in this 22 lappers. Intensity levels are going to be much higher too than we've had all week.
Without question. So it sounds like the drivers' meeting is starting here at Knoxville. Another good look from above. We got some other drivers here. Here's Billy Roberts, 1619, but I believe he joined the session late, so he's been on a slick track the entire time compared to when the track state was just over 15% or so for the drivers that may be faster.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good observation there. You look at Ricky Mayne's quick lap over the last little while. It's a 16:004, so definitely not a bad lap for Billy Roberts in comparison when you look at the guy that's at the top of the charts.
As we wait to get things going, again, last call for 3 other drivers, or else we're going to get this rolling. Let us know who you're rooting for, by the way, in the chat. We got Charity checking in, rooting for Jay Jonathan as well.
Popular guy.
Hey, he's got a lot of fans watching. I think he's always sharing the stream with his friends and families, and I'll give him credit for that. Got to get eyeballs on the series, so. See if we can pull up any other drivers here while we wait. Andy checking in, the general. Says, great job, great show, Dino. Well done tonight. Coast to Coast is in good shape. Absolutely is. It's always been in good shape. And Dino's definitely doing a great job with it. So should be getting things going here in just a moment. I would have to expect them to throw the checkers in about a minute or so before we go racing.
So one quick note, looks like Jeff Barker experiencing some connection issues. They actually forced him down pit road a little bit earlier on. He left the session, now trying to work his way back in. So hopefully the driver of the 513 able to get his connection sorted out and have himself a good run here in this B main. He sounded pretty confident about being able to lock himself in, but you want to have that connection on your side as well, especially with netcode being so rampant this week.
Absolutely, that's a great point you make. You do see the meatball slash the yellow flag, I should say, on your screen. Our graphics means he is suffering a meatball flag, whether it be damage or connection issues.
Looks like it's on the way back up, so he should be able to drop out of that here in just a moment. There he goes back into the green. Definitely a positive to see there. Man, it looks like we are getting set to go. There's only one car left on the racetrack right now. And he's coming to a stop, so I believe we're about to hit the grid here in one moment.
Awesome. Well, once Barker and Reynolds give the all clear, we can start greening up the drivers here for the 22-lap last chance showdown. Again, it's the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals, all benefiting the Steve King Foundation. GJ checking in. He'll be in the A main later on tonight. Rooting for the 22 of Billin, the 161 of Landis, and the 888 of Maurer. Maurer's got a pretty good starting spot tonight as well. See if he can avoid one of his a wild ride like he has been known for having at Knoxville in the past. Yeah, the Strike has not treated Steve very nicely in the past.
Well, the one thing on that, he's supposed to start third in the B main. He has not yet entered the server for tonight's B main, so it's one of the final three not here.
Yeah, it definitely would be a tough break if he cannot make it in. So if we're still in a little bit of a holding pattern here. We'll bring in some other drivers while we wait here, and we'll bring in Dodge Smith. And we'll talk with him while we wait. Dodge, it's Marty and Robert. You got us?
Yes, sir.
All righty, man. Got a couple of laps around the corner here. You start tonight in 6th. What's the game plan going to be in this 22-lap B main?
To not end up in the fence. But, yeah, that's pretty much my goal, is to not end up in the fence and finish the race.
Yeah, just remember, you can't park where you parked last night or 2 nights ago, whenever it was, all right?
All right.
Robert, you got anything?
No, just going to wish him best of luck as they've just advanced to the next session, so we're going to get set to go to the grid.
All right, Dodge, we'll let you be. Good luck, all right?
Thank you.
All right, that's Dodge Smith in the number 96. So we are set to roll. Let's give you the starting lineup here for our last chance showdown. Robert?
Rolling off on the pole inside row number 1, it's going to be the 68 at Tom Atlas to his outside. Starting in the 2nd spot, we've got Alton 4th in the 61. Inside row number 2 in car number 6, it's Scott Thomason, and to his outside, the driver we just spoke to in the 96, that is Dodge Smith. Inside row number 3 in the 40 machine, it's Dominic Pfeiffer, and to his outside, the 513, that's Jeff Barker. Ryan Elsie going to start in the 7th spot. Win car number 27 with Barry Goldner in the 36 to his outside. Billy Roberts in the 99, going to start 9th with Armando Melgoza in the 78, rolling off in position number 10. Starting inside row number 6 in the 11th spot, it's Mark Billen in the 22. To his outside, it's Ricky Main in the 187. Jeremy Christensen in the 16 machine starts 13th, is outside in the 028. That is Joseph Mossow, and rounding out the field, one of the fan favorites in car number 21. That is Jonathan
If Field rolling here through turns number 3 and 4. Robert, before we go green, your keys to victory tonight.
Keys to victory are going to be keeping it smooth, keeping it consistent, and picking them off one by one. Don't necessarily go for the big sliders to try to get multiple cars in one corner. You're going to have time. You're going to have opportunity to get up there and work your way up through the field. I'm watching guys like Rick Main, Jeremy Christensen, Joseph Mossel, and Jonathan Toftjen that all transferred from the C. I think each one of those drivers is going to have an opportunity to get up there and at least battle it out for one of those transfers here from the B.
So here we go. Go big or go home. How bad do you want to make the show? Well, we are about to find out. Tom Atlas and Alton fourth. That's your front row. Couple provisionals to keep in mind as well. Jake Morris, Armando Malgoza, the auction provisional, Jeremy Christensen and Jeff Barker. They have the vets and first responders and volunteer provisionals respectively. The green flag is out for the B main. Thomason with the early race lead. Atlas second. Pfeiffer in fourth, third and fourth. Dodge Smith rounds out the top 5. A reminder, top 5 transfer in as Thomason leads the opening lap. Pfeiffer looked for second, but loses a lot of momentum off at turn 2. Fourth goes past it, maybe even Smith. 3 wide.
Well, one driver we got to keep an eye on as well.
Oh,
no! Big one.
And he catches Don Smith. They're still wrecking in turn 1. One driver side over side. I think
That's Armando Malgoza.
First caution flies lap 3.
Wow.
This is how it started. 3 wide off the corner and fourth just caught the wall and Smith had nowhere to go. And they were wrecking near the front as well, like you were sort of talking about too there. Robert, watch Malgoza. Actually, no, this was near the back. Someone catches the wall right in front.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there for Armando Malgoza. He's going to get caught up in some of the collateral from that incident that started a little bit further up. Just, unfortunately, an innocent bystander in that one. Looks like it's the 36 of Barry Goldner that slides up. That's going to get Ryan Elzy involved. Elzy going to come together with Billy Roberts, and that's going to collect Malgoza. And he's going to go up and over. But one thing I just quickly wanted to point out just before that caution flag came out.
Are you watching the same thing I'm watching?
Are you watching Ricky Main, who's already up into the 7th position?
That too, but Tom Atlas, we just showed him, made a heck of a 360 and did not lose a spot as a result.
Oh man, I got to go back and watch that.
That's right on board with 4th.
Wow. That's one of those situations where netcode comes into play and actually works out for Tom Atlas because he had a car driving through him at that point.
Malgoza just ramped over the left rear tire. But you were talking about Rick Main as well. Already up 8 spots into the 4th position. Trying to pull soup mode early and trying to make passes up to the race lead earlier than he did the C main, which by the way was the last lap pass. So we're back to green. Main around the outside for second. Jeff Barker. Now the final transfer spot in the 5th spot. Goes after Musso for 4th. Hang on, 68 of Atlas up on the wall. May have damage to the right front. A T-bone by Toftjen. The 61 of 4th also involved. No caution flag. We stay green at the moment. This is the race for 3rd. Musso, Pfeiffer, and Barker into 3, Robert.
Great battle for position is right now that spot going to be held on by Musso. He's up into that 3rd spot as they're wrecking right ahead of him. Cars up top and on the bottom side, but we're going to stay clean. We're going to stay green right now as nobody really kicking those cars sideways. And while that happened, Marty, we had a change for the race lead. Ricky Main from the C main to the lead here in the B. Just a third of the way into this one. This guy is an absolute machine. And if you're in the A main, you're watching this guy right now because you know you're going to watch him coming up right behind you, and he's probably going to fly by you as well.
He really is trying to pull a Doug Wolfgang this evening. Here's our look at the replay on how he got the pass to stick on Thompson. Thompson went to the ball. They were both trying to avoid the slow cars at Hoffgen, who couldn't limp their car on the pit road because of how bad their steering was damaged. So Rick Mayne uses lap cars as a pick and leads by 1.7 seconds. Jeff Bark now looks for fourth here on Dominic Pfeiffer into turn one, Robert.
Yeah, Pfeiffer up top, Barker down on the inside lane as they work their way down the back stretch. Barker still working that bottom side behind them. Billy Roberts trying to close that gap up as well. He'd love to put himself in a transfer spot. As we're going to come around, we'll put 10 laps up on the board. 12 laps to go here in this one as Barker still side by side with Pfeiffer, but Pfeiffer able to get the advantage as Barker just clipped that inside berm.
Oh my
gosh.
Oh no, Billy Roberts and the 16 of Christensen get clouded in that too.
Wow.
And they're still wrecking. Hoffgen still driving this wounded race car and thought it was at 100%. And there are going to be some drivers. I'm just going to say it. There may be some drivers. Billy Roberts and Christensen also involved. Like, you got to know. Like, I give credit to Jonathan for trying to drive her. At the same time, you got to know if your car is not going to be driving that best. You got to know when it's time to pull it in.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate there for the drivers collected in that one. Barry Goldner also getting a piece of that one late. Unfortunately, the lone Canadian here in the B main, he's going to have a fair bit of damage on that machine. But as you mentioned, you kind of have to read the room a little bit, know the situation, and know what your car is doing at that point. And for Hoffgen, unfortunately, his car was looking a little bit bent at that point in that 21.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if he was looking at the replay or not, or if he stayed in his car just hoping that the damage could be repaired enough. But, optional damage, I think it may have gone down to zero, but some of that's definitely permanent damage that can end your day.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're going to work our way around, looks like lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. Ricky Mayne in control of the field. Scott Thomason in second. Joseph Mossow third. Dominic Pfeiffer to his outside in the fourth spot. In the final transfer spot right now, held on to by Jeff Barker. And he's got a new dance partner right beside him there in Dodge Smith.
Yeah, he was part of that first caution as well, that being Smith. As we come back to the green flag, halfway home. Next time by. 3 wide on the track. That's for the final transfer spot. Barker was able to get past for fourth. Here on Pfeiffer, Smith and Christensen both looking to pounce. Barker edging out Pfeiffer at the line for the fourth spot, but again the net code continues here for the 513 as he's blinking. Here comes Smith in that 96. All over the tail tank of the 40 of Pfeiffer. This is the race for fifth. That's Barker now past Musso for third, or does he?
Yeah, it looks like he is going to be able to get by, but for the guys behind him, a bit of a scary moment is you don't really know where that 513 is at all times. Hopefully he's able to get that sorted out before any sort of black flag or anything comes from it, iRacing or admin thrown, as behind him, Joseph Mossow holding onto the fourth spot and Dominic Pfeiffer in the final transfer spot right now, but Dodge Smith going to look down to the inside as the guys are going to stack up on the top side. Here comes Dodge Smith putting himself into the show.
Trying to go 2 for 1 off for turn 4. Puts Musso on the wall for just a moment, and Joe's hanging on now for the fifth and final transfer spot. And up on the wall he goes once again. He was dealing with some of this hard knocks racing for the final transfer spot last night, and now he's down to 6th. And he started back in 14th after finishing third in the C main.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got a bit of damage on that machine. The handling gone out the window on the 28 machine of Joseph Mossau as he's trying to battle himself back up out front. Ricky Main continues to lead the way, and he's gapped himself over the rest of the field. Scott Thomas in there in the second spot. Less than 10 to go in this one, by the way. We're approaching 5 to go now here in this B main in the 22 lap. B main is up to the third spot. Jeff Barker going to get by Dodge Smith as Smith closes up on him. We're going to have a 3-car battle for the second spot as Barker slides up nearly into the side of Thomas. It's a big dance now, Marty.
Problems. I think someone had lost it for a moment if they were to hang on. Stacked up most of the field. Look at this. 5 cars under a blanket here for the second spot. And Piper makes Barker on the wall. Aronco nearly both of them. Barker's lost the front wing. He loses his spot to Jeremy Christensen.
Wow.
Unbelievable save.
That was a great drive right there for Jeff Barker, holding on to that one. And the great drive continues, just being able to keep this thing going straight right now. His car missing that front wing, definitely not comfortable whatsoever, as with just 2 laps to go, Rick Main, Scott Thomason, Dodge Smith, Joseph Mossau, and Dominic Pfeiffer currently in the transfer spots. And for Pfeiffer, he's got himself a gap over that 6th place car of Jeremy Christensen. So right now, just got to keep it clean and bring it home. As we come around, white flag's going to be in the air this time for Rick Main.
Rick Main in the 187, our C main winner. Now looking at a B main win as well for a pretty good starting spot for the feature. Everybody taking note to the 187. Could he be greater than Doug Wolfgang tonight? We'll just have to see. Main the winner of the LCS. Thomason off for turn number 4. He'll finish in 2nd. Dodge Smith 3rd. Joe Musso in 4th. And Dominic Pfeiffer in 5th. And unofficially, Jeremy Christensen and Jeff Barker will receive the provisionals for veterans and first responders and volunteers respectively. And the auction provisionals will go to Jacob Morris and Armando Melgoza. And now we just wait for the starting lineup to be official.
Well, one thing to point out there, Marty, not only did Rick Main win the B, but Joseph Mosso also coming up from that C main, locking himself into the big dance here tonight with a 4th place finish in this B main. So great drive by both of those guys. We'll see what they have come feature time. And I definitely think if you're one of those guys that was sitting here watching, you were already locked into the A main, you had your eyes glued to Ricky Main. He's got himself a good shot at this one tonight.
So Main winning by nearly half a track over Scott Thomason. 7-second win, followed by Smith, Musso, and Pfeiffer. We'll see Christensen in 6th. We'll see Barker in 10th. Melgoza in 11th. Then we'll wait for the rest of the field here. But we've got your top 3 with us. It's going to give us some time here to prepare for the A main as they start to grid everything. And we'll start off with Rick Main. And Rick, you did it once again.
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little out of breath. That top was getting pretty brutal there.
Now I got to ask you, with this run that you're... One moment here, having some replay issues here. Now with that run you had tonight, or the runs you're having in both races, do you think drivers may be taking notes about your run here?
I mean you could, but you have to be able to stick the bottom or have the setup to be able to run the whoop section that's always the top here. Because I know if I run certain setups, it bounces too much, and then you can't run through the bumps the way you need to. So really, if you know how to tinker on them, then you got to do that. But that's what I have Aiden for. I don't know how to do any of that. He just does it for me.
One thing I do want to ask you as well, and Robert and I are going to talk about this in just a bit, but 50 laps around the corner, and that means you're going to have to load up the fuel tank, full fuel tanks for tonight. How do you try and play this fuel strategy out at the same time, just so that way you have enough to go to the finish and not run out at the final laps?
Like I said, I can't give all my secrets. I got to come from the back here, so I need a couple guys to run out of fuel and a couple things to go our way. But let's just say if you've ran a few, you kind of know what you need to do, and there's it's a really long race, especially around a big track like this. So you really got to bide your time, and you don't have to drive nearly as aggressive as I did trying to come through the soup. You have a lot of time, and you just got to take your time and pick your lanes and know when to move around and when to ride around, I guess.
Who do you want to give shout outs to before we let you go?
Yeah, again, I'm a free man these days, so just Aiden over at RTB makes really good sets. So I still use his stuff when I hop back on the sim. Great dude. He does a lot of coaching and spotting and all that kind of stuff for you. And again, you guys here at the broadcast, it's really cool what you guys do for these events. Just all the guys at C2C for putting these events on. I know Dino pulls what little hair he has left out for stuff like this, so I appreciate what he does for us as well, and all the other admins as well. It's takes a team to put on events like this, so really cool deal. Just thanks all you guys.
All right, man. We'll let you go. Great job and best of luck tonight.
Thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Rick Main finishing in first. Scott Thomason, our runner-up finisher, and he is with Robert.
Well, Scott, you had yourself a great run there in the B main. Didn't look like anyone really had much for that Ricky Main machine out front, but is there maybe something that you could have done a little bit differently, got up there and snuck away with that B main victory?
No, not really. He had a pretty good car. The only reason he really passed me is because I seen those two cars crashing. I thought a yellow was coming out, and I lifted off the gas. And then I realized they weren't throwing it, and then I got back in it, and he got going again. But he probably still would have passed me anyways. I'm just trying to make the main event. I wasn't going to fight for it because I don't want to wreck.
No, absolutely. And well, you've locked yourself into the A main. Right now, tentatively looks like you're going to start in the 17th position on that starting grid. What do you got to do, and what, maybe don't give away all your secrets, but what would your strategy be coming up from the back of the pack from that 50 lapper?
Oh, I just got to tighten the car up a little more and put a little taller gear in it and hope for the best.
Well, anyone you want to give a shout outs to here tonight?
Oh, give out to shout out to my team, Scott Thomason Racing. Been had a rough week and trying to capitalize on the rest of this weekend. Also want to thank Scissor Tails Racing Development with Thomas McElroy and Lane Goodman. They helped me out a lot. And Josh Whiteman of Finish Line Race Designs made my car, and it's a good looking piece and rolling pretty good. And Tanner Pettit setups, they roll pretty good and having a good time with them. And I also want to thank you guys for the broadcast. Thank Steve King Foundation and all that, and Coast to Coast, and having a good time. I appreciate it. We'll see what we can do here in this 50 lap feature.
Well, best of luck, Scott. We look forward to seeing you come up from the back of the pack.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
And we will round out the podium here with Dodge Smith. And Dodge, you're in the show. How's it feel?
I feel great about this. I wrecked in the beginning, flipped like I usually do daily. But yeah, we put her in the show.
Yeah, it had to have not been easy at all there, because once you use that quick repair, that battle for fourth was tough, and a great race between you, Joe, and Dominic Howard, and Jeff Barker too. How were you able to get that final transfer spot from your perspective?
Well, I just ran the top. You pretty much just ran it, hoped for the best. Didn't try to go through that slick because it gets sideways. But yeah, that's pretty much just ran the top and just tried to hold my position after that.
Alrighty, man. Well, what's the game plan now? You got 50 laps.
I'm just gonna try to finish the race, and hopefully there's no fence racing tonight, and yeah.
Alrighty, man. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to before we let you go?
Yeah, my buddy Jonathan, my mom, my dad, just Stever's Garage, Champions Racing, M&M Customs, TVR Speed Shop, TVR Racing, just all the guys over there. Trent Kahn for helping with the setups for this race. It's been a struggle, but we somehow got it in the show.
Alrighty, man. Well, we'll let you go. Great job, and best of luck tonight, all right?
Yep, thank you.
Dodge Smith, your winner here. We're going to take an extended break here. Is when we come back, feature time here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
When Steve died, the outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in an on-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
It's the truth that in love and war, worlds collide and hearts get broken. I wanna live like I know I'm dying. Take up my cross, not be afraid. Is it true what they say? The words are weapons, and if it is, then everybody best stop stepping. 'Cause I got 10 in my pocket that'll bend your lock, and I'm tired of all of these walkers saying, come with me. Wait, it's just about to break. It's more than I I can take. Everything's about to change. I feel it in my veins. It's not going away. Everything's about to change. There's a war going on inside of me. To not be afraid. There's a war going on inside of me.
Quarter here. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be Sam Buckman.
Beating down the outside, give the win to Patrick Spangler.
Four, not enough. Jack Hit gets the win here in Eldora tonight.
Jackie trying to counter, won't get there. Dino wins in the 358.
Flag waves, give it to the Samaconda, Sam Buckman.
Trevor Garou got the flag in sight, and he will get the victory here.
Door shut, final time off of 4. Christensen takes the checkered flag.
And it's a close race. It's going to be Shreves getting the win with Grammy.
Final time through 3 and 4. Checkered flag waves, give it to Gavin Chatham. Light some fireworks for the 007. Brockman brings home the win. The Iceman brings home the win. Give it to Chad Griggs.
Thank you to all of our sponsors.
Bye. The feature is ready to be gridded. Drivers to your cars. Again, drivers to your cars. Welcome back to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Coast to Coast Racing Network. Mario Sakala with you alongside Robert Hill Jr. Bring us back in the booth as we get ready to go. Cole Katz showing his screen, getting ready for his onboard here this evening. Brandon Dittmer also getting set to go for tonight. But we're moments away. 50 laps await 28 drivers this evening, Robert.
Yeah, we're just about against the wall. We're about to get set to go here for tonight's A main. And Marty, it has been a great couple of days qualifying. We had heat races, we had hard knocks, we had the pole shuffle, we had the C, the B. Now it's time for tonight's A main, and we've got some real fast drivers here with us tonight as well, and just about any one of them could walk away with tonight's 50 lap Knoxville Nationals victory, but only one of them is going to be able to stand on the top step of the podium at the end of the night.
Yes, absolutely. Again, drivers in the Nationals race, your session is live. You take a look at some of the drivers here. There's Joseph Groom in the 11. Groom starting from 23rd this evening. So we take a look at some of the times here at the moment, the early times. Mason Hyde, 15:47, but I would not be surprised if drivers are practicing a full fuel run at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. If they're to practice right now with a less than full tank, they're doing themselves a disservice at this point. You really want to be sure that what you have is what you need when it comes to race time. You want to have the early pace, but you also want to make sure you're going to have enough fuel to make it to the end of this one. Is you really don't want to be one of those guys that with 1 or 2 to go, you're running out and you're watching the rest of the field go on by.
Absolutely. And while we await this, let's talk to a couple of drivers here. And we'll start things off with a 2-time champion of this event in 2022 and 2024, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, it is Marty and Robert up here. You got us?
Yep, gotcha.
All righty, man. 50 laps awaits. You start from position number 7 this evening. What's the game plan tonight?
I can't give it all away. There's probably people watching. But it depends if it's going to be a caution fest or not. If it's a caution fest, you want to get out to the lead as early as you can and control the starts. Yeah, but we've had ones that stayed green before, and if you go all out the first half, you're going to run out of fuel. So I don't know how it's going to play out yet.
Obviously, this is going to be a track that's going to be high side dominant, but with the fuel run, you guys starting on full fuel, and you're going to just about end with the last drop. You know what that's like when you won in 2022. Is it going to be like a similar situation where drivers want to try and stay up top as much as possible, but need to try and find their way down to the bottom for a lap just so they can save that much fuel?
Probably. I think you'll have like last year where a lot of people stayed down low and went half throttle for the first couple of laps. But I don't think we've ever done a 50-lap race. They usually been 47 for Westbrook, and then we'd have 3 or 4 laps of pacing. So I think the most we've ever did is like 44, 45. So this will be interesting at 50.
I got to ask you this one. You've won in even years in 22, 24. Is this one in the cards for you or something?
I don't know. You got that rocket ship starting on the pole, so it determines if he destroys the car himself or if I'm able to catch him. But Chad Griggs is pretty strong here.
Robert, you got anything?
You pretty much covered it all, but I'm going to ask the question. Obviously, aside from yourself, is there a driver you're keeping your eyes on here tonight in this one?
Yeah, you got to keep your eyes on Chad, Ross Corinne starting right behind me, and then even Gavin and Rick in the back. Like they all have a chance to win this, especially takes one quick repair and people can still drive through the field. So whoever doesn't run out of fuel and stays out of trouble.
Well, Patrick, before we let you go, who do you want to give shout-outs to?
Just you guys for the awesome broadcast and everything you do all week. Even though some of the racing was rough, hopefully we can clean up tonight. And then Dean, Jeff, and Jack for putting us all on. Ross with Velocity Race Designs for the new wrap for this race. And all the sponsors that contribute to the door prizes and all the point fund or money fund for this week. So this is always my funnest event we do every year. And I almost had to ref hockey, and I was able to find somebody to cover me so I could make the race, because this is the one race I look forward to all year.
You are not alone. Same year, man. Good luck tonight, and we'll see how you do.
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, that is Patrick Spangler getting set to go with the number 39. Let's bring in another driver here. We haven't talked to him in a long while, but I want to talk with him because he had a phenomenal prelim night earlier this week, starting from the 8th position. A better spot than he expected. Roger Craig, Bassman, Marty, and Robert, you got us?
Hey, Marty, how you doing tonight?
Hey, buddy, long time no see. So, I mean, what a week you've had so far. How can this help you transition into tonight?
I just want to, if a top 10 would be a miracle finish for me. So it's been a great week so far, and I just want to stay out of trouble and not cause anybody else any trouble.
You and I were talking late on, I think it was Monday night, and you said as long as you made the top 16, you would be thrilled. And you were one spot shy of making the pole shuffle.
Yeah, I that was a total shock. You know, I'm 76 years old. A lot of these guys are 50 years younger, so made my day, that's for sure. This is the biggest event of the year. You guys are doing an incredible job covering it, and the guys that run the league now are doing a great job doing it. But it's for a great cause, and in memory of Mike Westbrook, who was just a great guy, just a great human being, and still missed dearly.
Well, let me ask you this, and I don't want you to get emotional over this question, but of course, we've got the Bill Calder retreads bonus up for grabs here tonight, and you look like you could possibly be the favorite to get it done. What would it mean to win that as well?
Oh, that would mean everything. You know, the old Mass Marauder, Mass Avenger. We've been we're buddies for over 50 years, and still in all our hearts. And you know, we renamed the Retreads Racing League after him. He's just such a big part of all of it, and just another great guy. So yeah, that would mean a lot.
Robert, you got anything for Roger?
Well, Roger, you're one of only 2 Canadian drivers in the field here tonight. Do you think we could put that Maple Leaf on the top step of the podium, or what?
I'd be happy if we could put that Maple Leaf in the top 10, that's for sure. And Robert, while I got you on, I haven't talked to you before, but you are doing an amazing job, buddy. And it's too bad that Zach's not there with you. But you guys, the Super Dirt Week was awesome, and this week, just watching all the broadcasts, you guys are doing an incredible job.
We appreciate that, buddy. Who do you want to give shout-outs to before we let you go?
Well, for sure, the Westbrook family, Westbrook Farms and DWR Automotive, those guys for sure. And, of course, the Bill Calder Retreads Racing League. Really proud that, so many guys took part in this. And I know most of us run at the back, but we're just proud to be here.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll let you be. Good luck, and go give him some hell, all right?
Yeah, hey, Marty, you getting to Knoxville this year? Or,
I would love to, but unfortunately I have a CRSA race at Utica that night, or that weekend. So I think I got 2 that weekend. So I wish, but maybe next year.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that was a fun time with everybody. So just good luck with the broadcast, and just hope I can stay out of trouble.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're wishing you good luck. All right.
Thanks, buddy.
And Robert and I were kind of talking about this a little before we went live, but Robert, the Knoxville Nationals, once you go to it for the first time, you're gonna want to go back every single year. Like I always look at my schedule, and I hope that weekend is open in my racing schedule so I can go to Knoxville. I haven't gone though since my first time in 2023. I want to go back again.
Man, you just got to give a call over to Mike Emhoff. Make sure that he doesn't schedule any races on that weekend for you. I'm sure you got some pull around there, don't you?
Watch, he'll schedule a race at Thunder. No, not Thunder. He'll schedule it at Cornwall or Mohawk or something, so you can take it.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely, I'll take it. Let's do it.
So many beautiful places around Knoxville, around the village, just right near the track. You've got the dive bar Dingus across the street from the track. That's the post race party house, to say the least. You got the park just on the other side of the train tracks, which the Chamber of Commerce uses as a parking lot that I used a couple years ago for for my own parking spot for the entire week. It was perfect. You've got the Rib Shack, unbelievable barbecue. Nothing like ribs every day for lunch. Ribs or a sandwich. It was just so good. I think the diner Mrs. D's is always delicious, and of course Casey's Pizza as well, and just so much more. I've got nothing but phenomenal things to say about that town and about the racetrack.
Man, it's definitely on my bucket list, a place that I want to get to at some point over the next handful of years. I'm going to mark Charlotte off that list this year. Going to head down for the Outlaws and the big blocks there down in November. Celebrate my birthday down there, which will be pretty cool. Going to make the trip back to Oswego for at least a couple days this year. Hopefully get to see a little bit more racing. Unfortunately, it does clash a little bit with one of our big races that we have up at Cornwall, and hopefully one day down the line they'll separate those weekends and I'll be able to go for the full week.
Yeah, you know, I was considering World Finals this year, and then some things changed at the job, and I've got limited vacation time instead of like when I want to go on vacation or something like that. But it's all good. Maybe if I have any openings, I may go for World Finals as well. I do want to plan on going out in December to PRI in Indy if I have enough time for that, because I know a lot of people go out for that every year. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool racing related events going on pretty much every week, every day of the year, even throughout the winter. You might think that it's the downtime, but that's when iRacing picks up. That's when we start tuning into sprint car racing over in Australia, watching those guys do their thing, and then we get set for the Chili Bowl and all those big events, Volusia going on down there. I got to go a couple years ago for that. What a racetrack.
I want to go to, and I don't know how it's going to look this year. It may change. I want to go to the Dome. And, of course, I'm talking about the Gateway Dirt Nationals in December.
Yes.
It is
That'd be cool.
insane how that place is packed, and it's just a football stadium. And the fans pack it. The drivers pack the convention center. It's amazing how that race has come along in this past couple of years.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see these big events growing each and every year that they run, and the towns that hold them just absolutely owning those events and really welcoming the people to their towns and showing what they can do, and it's pretty special.
Absolutely. Let's talk to another driver here. We're going to talk with the driver, the number 83, Brandon Dittmer, starting in 5th tonight. BD, Marty and Robert, you got us, bud?
What's up, boys?
Nothing much, man. All righty, you're starting here your home race in the top 5. How are we feeling going on in?
I'm feeling good. I know I've had some discrepancies about how I want to start these races in the past. I think I'm just going to go for it, hope for the best. This is going to be a lot of fun. Track's getting worn in really nicely. Starting to get rough up top, which I like and don't like at the same time, I've had my fair share of mishaps up there, but, those things happen.
Obviously, you're keeping an eye on the drivers up front or around you. Are there any drivers you're keeping an eye on out near mid-pack or in the back?
Oh, you're going to watch Maine come up through the field fairly quickly. Chatham, he'll make his way up too easily. Just waiting for the time that Spangler and Carena both come by me. They're both extremely fast. It's a wild game out here. Just who wants to wait till when to pass? It's you gotta base it off them. If they go by you have to kind of push what you can. Who goes by you and how hard it is to get back around them, and sometimes it's just too late by the time you get going.
Robert, you got anything for Brandon at the moment?
Yeah, if you get it done here tonight, how are you celebrating the win?
Oh, I'm going to do a couple donuts on the track and head over to Dingus. First couple rounds on me, of course.
He goes here every year. It's his home track.
Oh, yeah, gearing up just to go to the Nationals here in a couple weeks. I cannot wait. Unfortunately, Dean not making it this year. Isaac probably not making this year. Marty not making it this year. How dare you?
Sorry. Blame the series that employs me.
Yeah, Dean says the same thing. No, it's a fun time every year. Look forward to it. Can't wait.
Alrighty. Robert, do you got anything else?
No, that's it, man. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you, boys.
BD, who do you want to give shout-outs to before we let you go?
Oh, you guys for the amazing broadcast as always. Dean and Barker behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly. JRB Designs for making this amazing English, Jesus, rap. Hopefully we can put this thing on the podium tonight, if not the victory lane. And all the boys at Venom. Sorry, again, I'm sorry to Bud for taking him out on the qualifying night. I did not mean to do that. Unfortunately, he had some terrible luck in C main. Hopefully we can get this done for the boys tonight.
Alrighty, man. We'll let you go. Good luck tonight, all right?
Thank you.
Alrighty, that is Brandon Dittmer in the number 83. And I think we moved him into the right spot, did we?
No, I'll go there.
I got you. I got you. Now we're good. Okay, perfect. Just some of the drivers here is I'm not sure how long we got until we go green, but drivers get a chance to practice. You see the drivers here and how they're looking time-wise. It is Mason Hine currently quickest, 15.466. Dodge Smith second, 15.53. Rick Main currently third at a 15.59. Fourth spot, Gavin Chatham, 15.62. Trevor Frank fifth at a 15.7.
Some pretty good times throughout the field here so far. 27 of the 28 drivers in the starting grid have taken a time. Not sure who the one driver is that's not here with us yet. But hopefully they're able to join us, and we can hit the track with 28 cars coming up here in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here, too, on my end. We've got nearly everybody. Who is it that I've yet to see here this evening is what I'm wondering.
Joseph Grandy.
Joseph Grandy, you are due up. Attention, Grandy. You are due up. Last call. Everybody's waiting for you, my man. Grandy had a bunch of wild rides Monday night, so Grandy's starting from 12th
shaking
spot
up
tonight.
This is going to be an exciting race. You can hear the excitement in the voices of all the drivers that we've talked to, and you know, some of them come into this maybe not thinking that they're going to be somebody to contend for the win, but they're just honored and excited to be in such an important and big race that only happens once a year. So it's pretty exciting to see all the drivers that we've had here this week. We had about 50 drivers plus try to qualify into the event, and we're going to start 28 in this one. As Marty, your last call did work. Joseph Grandy has connected to the server.
See, they listen to me, all right? They
do.
They listen to me.
It's going on Marty's calendar. On July 30th, 2026, they finally listened.
It'll be on my calendar every single year. On this day in 2026, they finally listen to me. So this is the drivers' meeting. They're all in the pits having their drivers' meeting. Their final chances to get their race commencement here from both Dean and Jeff to lay down everything and how the format's going to go here tonight. Again, 50 laps at Knoxville. Up from what it's been in the past, like I believe it was Patrick that mentioned, at 47. So fuel will really be in question here for the drivers tonight. It's a topic that doesn't get discussed a lot here in the Knoxville Nationals, but it's always something that we have to keep an eye on too, Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, these drivers definitely, they've had the time to experiment with the gas and see what they need for tonight. Experiment with their setups, see if there's any adjustments that they might need to make in the middle of the race, maybe touch the wing a bit, see what they can do. And it's going to be interesting to see how the race develops and how the track develops. You already see a fair bit of rubber put down on the racetrack. And I think it was Dittmer that mentioned how the high side starting to get a little bit rough there. And that's going to come into play quite a bit here throughout tonight's event, and we'll just see how the track continues to develop and where the racing line ends up when we come down to those final 10.
Look at Andy Patton there in the number 87. Patrick Spangler said in the chat about maybe a half hour ago, A-Main is a different animal if it stays green because you have to save fuel too, which...
Yep.
Yes, that is definitely key, and Knoxville's had its share of long runs too in the past, although it has had its share of Wreckfest as well.
Well, and that's one of the things too. When you get to the A-Main, everybody knows they're in the show. There's not necessarily that sense of urgency that, oh my gosh, I only have 15 laps to get myself up there into one of those transfer spots. You have time to settle in a little bit, keep yourself a good consistent pace throughout, and put yourself in a spot when it comes to the end of the race to get yourself into contention. And that's why it might be a little bit different than what we've seen in some of the preliminary nights so far, and a little bit of a calmer pace, but also the intensity still going to be there towards the end.
So again, we are going green in just a couple moments here for the 7th annual Mike Westbrook 360 Nationals. Let's look at the winners here of this decade since 2021. Kyle Moonen won it. That was the second year we had the Knoxville Nationals. Patrick Spangler, your winner in 2022, after John Helms, who let the white flag, ran out of fuel. Blake Chapman dominated this race in 2023. 2 years ago, a wild finish, Patrick Spangler taking the race win. And last year, it was Chad Griggs taking his first. Griggs starts from pole. Altogether, we have two of the past winners, I should say, in the field this evening. So Spangler looking for his third, and Griggs looking to be the first driver to win consecutive Knoxville Nationals.
It's pretty impressive to see how many different winners have gotten themselves a victory in this prestigious race. And Chad Griggs, obviously very quick all week long, and that's to be expected, obviously, coming into this one. Probably not changing too much from the base setup compared to last year. A couple adjustments here and there, but knowing where you need to start and where you need to be. And another cool stat that I noticed prior to getting to the grid here tonight, looking at the diversity in the field, 12 different states represented, and of course the Canadian province of Ontario also with 2 representatives here tonight. So pretty cool to see. This is called the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we are literally coast to coast and crossing borders here tonight with this Knoxville Nationals. So pretty darn cool to see such a big group of drivers.
Absolutely. And again, final moments before we go green here. Again, look at the door prizes and the bonuses here for this evening. The door prizes, Baps Motor Speedway, 2 free GA tickets, a great World of Outlaws show they had there last night. Velocity Race Design with a free wrap, as well as wraps from Grand Slam Graphics, Just Racing Boys and Designs, Regal Wraps, JT Graphics, Vertex Graphics, Dirt Car Esports, free entry to the Big Block race in October. RPES with a free membership with a 305 Sprint Series, and Mohawk International Raceway with 2 tickets to September weekend on the 18th and the 19th. It is that time. Let's meet the field for tonight's 50-lap Knoxville Nationals. Here is tonight's starting lineup. Starting on the pole position, out of North Syracuse, New York, in the number 79, it's Dean Reynolds. To the outside, out of Jefferson City, Missouri, in the number 27, Chad Griggs. Row 2, starting third, Sheboygan, Wisconsin's Trevor Frank. In the 121, to the outside, from Kinsley, Kansas, Isaac Bowman, in the 88. Row number 3, it's Ted York from Camden, New York, in the number 809. To the outside, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, in the 83. Row 4, the Bass Man, Roger Craig from Ohsweken, Ontario. Brantford, Ontario in the 714. The high side banger, Patrick Spangler to the outside in the 39. Rounding out the top 10, the General Andy Patton in the 87. And the Boss, Ross Carina, in the 10.
Starting in the 11th spot out of Duanesburg, New York, it's Joseph Grandy in the 518. To his outside out of Jefferson City, Missouri, the 518 or the 217 of Jack Hitt. Inside row number 7, driving car number 25 out of Cato, New York, that's Jacob Mossow. And to his outside out of Cumberland, Maryland, in the 89, that is Mason Hine. Inside row number 8, he picked up the C main. He picked up the B main as well. Out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania, Ricky Main going to roll off in position number 16 down to his inside out of Hamilton, Ontario. In the 014, that is GJ Boydell. Starting in the 17th spot out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, behind the wheel of car number 6, that is Scott Thomason. And to his outside out of Bath, New York, in the 96, that is Dodge Smith.
Joe Musso and Dominic Piper.
Yeah, there you go.
And the rest of the field here as we get set to go green. As we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? The Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals. Reynolds, Griggs up for 4. It is showtime here in Knoxville. The Nationals are green. Griggs gets away with the early jump. Isaac Bowman in second. Dean Reynolds tries the slide job here on Brandon Dittmer for the 3rd spot. Patrick Spangler underneath on the 83 takes away 4th. Lap number 1 of the line led by Chad Griggs, followed by Bowman, Reynolds, Spangler, Dittmer. That's the top 5.
Good battle for position number 4 is Patrick Spangler. He's going to try to work his way forward. Brandon Dittmer right there with him as they close up on Dean Reynolds for the 3rd spot. Reynolds in car number 79 going to dive down to the inside lane as Dittmer running that middle side. He's going to drop down to the inside. Spangler behind him. Ross Carrenta right there as well as Dittmer going to make contact with the outside wall. That opens up the door for Spangler as they'll be side by side for position number 4. Here comes Ross Carrenta.
That's the boss starting back in the 10th position. You see Spangler throws the slider on Patrick Spangler, able to move up into the 4th spot. That's Carrenta and both Rick Mayne. Keep an eye on that 187, Robert. Already up 9 positions, and it's only lap 5 of the 50-lap A-Main.
Rick Mayne on the move here so far in that 187. He's driving past guys like he's got no business being there whatsoever. Coming up to the backside of Brandon Dittmer. He made real quick work of Ross Carrenta, made it look like he was standing still as Rick Mayne up into the 6th spot, now closing up on Dittmer as we've got a battle for the race lead. Isaac Bowman still in the top spot. That battle for 2nd going to pick up as Dean Reynolds now up on the high side. That's Greg's up top, working their way forward. Actually, Greg's going to fall back here. Reynolds running that middle lane as they close in on Isaac Bowman for the top spot.
Look at the pass for the lead here in just a moment, but a new race leader, our prelim winner from Tuesday night. Isaac Bowman in the number 88. Here's Patrick Spangler. Slide job on Dean Reynolds. Here comes Rick Mayne. 4 wide off for 4. Look at the jump for Rick Mayne. Already up 14 spots, and it's only lap number 8. Rick Mayne is up to 2nd. Isaac Bowman, you've got company.
Rick Mayne up on the high side, trying to get himself some bite off of turn number 4. Dives down, battle for the lead. Not much of a battle at all as Rick Mayne going to go out to the top spot. Isaac Bowman falls back to 2nd. Dean Reynolds there in the 3rd spot. Your top 2 going to have a good run down the back straight away. Starting to separate from the back of the pack as the caution going to fly, Marty.
And it's Dodge Smith around in the 96. First yellow flag of the Knoxville Nationals feature. He took a wild ride. Not a lot of room for real estate. Somehow found a way to keep the 96 driving. Then pounded the wall pretty good and got some help as well in a T-bone. Right on board with Smith.
Wow.
He caught, I believe that was the 518 of Grandy. Didn't have a lot of room to try and get the high side to work.
Well, that was just unfortunate there for Dodge Smith. 2 drivers racing hard for position. Unfortunately, Joseph Grandy, just right there. Dodge Smith had nowhere to really go on that one. And just taking a look down pit road, we got a couple drivers down there hanging out. Dodge Smith currently on pit lane, and I believe we have one other down there as well. Yeah, Jacob Musso, he was running up towards the middle portion of the field, now finds himself back on pit lane as well. But you know, these drivers mentioned how this A-Main is very different than what we've had in the others, and that was the only incident we've had so far. We've already ticked off 9 of the laps. We're almost 20% of the way through this Knoxville Nationals A-Main as we're going to get close to going back to the green flag here in just a couple moments. Looks like the field going to start doubling up. Lights are off on the pace car.
So a double file restart. Rick Mayne selects the bottom. He and Isaac Bowman share row 1. Dean Reynolds and Chad Griggs on row 2. Patrick Spangler, Ross Carrenta, row 3. Brandon Dittmer and Ted York, row 4. Trevor Frank and Jack Hitt round out the top 10. Mayne up 15 spots early. Joseph Groom, the other driver, up at least 10. He started in 23rd, currently restarting in the 12th position. There goes Mayne back to green. Three wide for 2nd. Griggs looking low on Reynolds here. But Dino able to rebound in the middle groove here. Carrenta had a great corner exit, and the race is on for P3. Still 3 wide off for turn number 4. Griggs, Carrenta, and Reynolds. That's the race for 4th correction. Nope, it is the race for 3rd. I'm sorry.
Yeah, good battle for position as Ross Carrenta going to get up into that 3rd spot. Jack Griggs down on the inside lane. As we look a little bit further up, Isaac Bowman not really losing as much ground as I anticipated there on Ricky Mayne. Mayne potentially in that conservation mode right now, trying to keep his car pointed in the right direction as the caution flags out, and looks like this one going to involve potentially Cole Cats.
Got
Yeah, Malgoza going to
Malgoza.
be involved in that one.
That was Jack Hitt. Roger Craig got a piece of it as well. And the glass slipper finally breaks for the 747, unfortunately.
Jeremy Christensen also getting a piece of that one late. A couple others going to get collected. Jacob Mossau also involved as we take a look at the replay.
Ooh, that started in front with Jack Hitt and actually caught Musso as well. I don't know how Craig got involved in that accident. This may have been two separate accidents. Oh, Craig already had left front damage. So his car already was damaged. I don't know how this got finished here. Upside down it went. But this was the cause of yellow here with Jack Hitt. The biker here in turn 4, yep, was just hanging on and caught Musso. And that's how Malgoza started flipping. We'll get his onboard right now. Malgoza, one of the two drivers to have our auction provisional this evening, as he thought he was good, then caught the back of Larry Moody and was just on for the ride. On board Jack Hitt, and the front wing was already gone off the 217. So he was basically driving a wingless sprint at that point. Lights are off. Going green this time by Main and Bowman, row 1. Corinna and Griggs, row 2. Reynolds and Spangler, row 3. Dittmer and York, row 4. Frank and Groom round out your top 10. Main hold serve on the restart. But Bowman around the outside of Rick Main, the number 9, back out to the race lead. Main trying to fight back through turns number 3 and 4. Here comes Griggs, the 27. He's back to the outside. Not sure what's going on with Rick Main, but he's already lost 3 spots for the restart. And 4th kind of makes me wonder if he's saving fuel at the same time, as now Spangler gets passed for the 2nd spot, Robert.
Yeah, a lot of commotion up towards the front of the field, and why not add another element to it? We got lap traffic just up the road from these guys. They're going to definitely come into play, as that's the 714 dropping down the inside of Roger Craig. Craig down on that inside lane. He's got the 2 leaders above him. Oh, man, caution flag.
Joseph Grandy has gone for a wild ride once again.
Right as the pass for the lead was about to happen there with Patrick Spangler, the caution flag flies.
See how this happened here. Ooh, Granny just caught the wall and started cartwheeling. Goes around and flipping and flips in a shower of sparks. You notice here under the yellow flag, I'm liking this strategy here for Isaac Bowman. Just trying to ride the berm as much as he can. Do what he can do to save fuel.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Quite a few of these drivers trying different methods of fuel conservation at this point. 15 laps in, 35 laps to go in tonight's Knoxville Nationals A main. And I also kind of wonder, looking a little bit further back here at Ricky May and now back to the 4th spot, I do want, yeah, it looks like the 4th spot there, lap car just ahead of the race leaders. But I do wonder if this was a strategy move on Ricky Main's part, falling back a little bit, trying to conserve a little bit more fuel, potentially conserve that right rear tire as well at this point in this one. He knows these guys are fast, and he knows he's got a good car, but just potentially saving a little bit for the end.
So this will be a single file restart. Definitely going to help out Bowman a little bit as he fires off for 4 back to green. Griggs now around the outside of Main again for the third spot, and so now move Chad Griggs up to the bottom step of the podium as he tries to ride the berm on the bottom. Spangler, a great exit for him in the 39. He's within a car length on Isaac Bowman. Your race is for the lead in turns 1 and 2 here, Robert.
Yeah, down the back straight away, Isaac Bowman continues to lead the way. Patrick Spangler right behind him. As Spangler going to go up to the high side, just a little bit further back. Ross Carina, he's going to go up to that high lane as well as he looks to make the move on Chad Griggs for that third spot. They're side by side for third and fourth. Griggs all the way on the bottom. Up on the high side is Carina is just behind them. Brandon Dittmer able to make a good slider move on Ricky Main, puts himself up to that fifth spot as we're working our way around. Going to come to lap number 19 this time. Battles on for the lead once again as Spangler dives down to the inside. He's going to try to clear up, not quite enough room, but he's going to get the advantage down the backstretch here on Isaac Bowman for the top spot, Marty.
Wing to turn 3, slide job. Spangler nearly too much of a slide job. Caught the wall, lucky to not hit the whoop section. And here comes Ross Carino, the boss of the 10. Shades of 2024 all over again. Can he grab second off of turn number 2? Bowman gives to the lane, and Ross Carina now is through to the 2 spot, but it won't count as the caution flies. Dodge Smith, G.J. Boydell, upside down. Here's how that happened. Smith in the wall is just hanging on in 3 and 4. Boydell just has nowhere to go. They catch Roger as well in the aftermath.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate there for both drivers. Dodge Smith has called it a night there in the 96 machine. And for G.J. Boydell, got to wonder, he had fallen out of the server earlier on. And sometimes when you come back in, that automatically takes the fast repair. So got to wonder if he maybe doesn't have one in his tool belt anymore.
You know, one driver we've yet to talk about that I'm keeping my eye on here as well. Driver of the 99, Gavin Chapman, up 14 spots, started back in 21st. Was the winner of the Hard Knocks night because of him starting back in 21st and is now in 7th. Go ahead, Robert.
You look at some of the conversation that the drivers had with us prior to the A-Main tonight. They mentioned drivers like Ricky Main and Gavin Chatham as guys to watch coming up from the back. And both of these drivers have been very, very strong. Obviously, Rick Main, tonight's his first night, and he's put on an absolute clinic. But for Gavin Chatham, we've seen the speed that he had. He just unfortunately didn't have luck on his side on preliminary night. As the lights are off on the pace car, we're going to have another single file restart here and get set to go green in just a couple of moments with Patrick Spangler now in control of the field. Isaac Bowman second, Ross Carina there in third, Brandon Dittmer and Rick Main round out the top 5.
Griggs is 6th, Chatham 7th, Frank 8th, York 9th, and Reynolds has fallen back to 10th. Makes you wonder if he's saving fuel as well to make sure he has enough for the second half as we're back to green. Spangler, the new leader. Bowman hanging out on the middle side of the racetrack. Here comes Carina in the 10, second chance to try and grab third. Oh boy! Is that a permanent loss? The top wing for Bowman, and how's the right front on the number 9? We'll just have to see. Rick Main is back in same with Chad Griggs. Grigg all the way to the bottom, nearly goes 2 for 1. The race is on for 5th again. And here comes Chatham in the 99. Triple threat match is on for the 5th spot, but for the race lead. Ross Carino looking underneath on Patrick Spangler. Couldn't get it to stick just yet.
Yeah, great battle for position as Spangler leads the way. Carina up on the high side as Isaac Bowman going to drop down to the inside lane. Brandon Dittmer gets by for third. Now the battle for the lead again as still green on the racetrack. Spangler leads. He's running that top side as Ross Carina had another look down to the inside of him last time by lap traffic all the way down on the inside lane. Not going to come into play at least for your top 5 as Patrick Spangler continues to lead the way. Here comes Ross Carina.
It was Jack Hitt, Larry Moody, and Cole Katz. We stay green. Here's Brandon Dittmer currently running in the 3rd spot. On board with the Spider Monkey in the 83. Looking all the way low here. Can he get it to work on Carina? Can't get the power down compared to the 10 on the outside. Caution flag waves. And we've got Scott Thomason, Jacob Morris. That's Jake Musso in the 25. Couple of things we got to look back at here. This did not bring a yellow. Jack hit Larry Moody and Cole Katz. Watch the 7. Is there contact for Moody? There was. And they got hooked and hit. It was just collateral. This is the cause of the yellow. Musso in the back. Let's see if Morris catches him. Nope, there was just hard racing with Andy Patton. And Morris with nowhere to go. Another driver gets involved. I think that was Christensen in the 16. Let's ride with Morris. Yeah, just about touched rear tires there. And round he goes. Here's the onboard with Musso. So we are just about past the halfway mark in this one. 25 up and 25 down, and I got a feeling for those that may have been saving early, it's time for them to push. For those that are pushing, they may have to use the bottom now and start to save a little bit. We'll just have to see. Spangler, Corinna, Dittmer, Bowman, and Main. That is the top 5. 25 up and 25 down. Spangler fires back to green. Corinna keeps it on the bottom. This opens the door up for Brandon Dittmer to take away second. Now let's see if Isaac Bowman can get a run in the 88 here as well. Bowman tries to rip the lip here through 3 and 4. Doesn't have anything. Dittmer trying to pull even with Spangler for the lead. Good races to watch all around. Corinna edges out Bowman for the 3rd spot, Robert.
Yeah, Ross Corinna going to get up into that 3rd position. His great drive by Brandon Dittmer. He's going to send it down to the inside, trying to close up here on Patrick Spangler as Spangler leads the way. Dittmer there in the 2nd spot. 3rd place driver Ross Corinna going to dive it down to the inside of Dittmer. Not quite able to close up on him, but out front, Dittmer up to the backside of Spangler. Now down to the inside. Side-by-side battle for the top spot as they work their way off in turn number 4. Patrick Spangler with the advantage over Brandon Dittmer for that for the top spot as Dittmer, he's going to jump up top as well. Now gets a run down the backstretch. We'll see what he can do here.
He's got a very fast hot rod, maybe saving his right rear and fuel in 3 and 4 while keeping it on the cushion in 1 and 2 to play it safe than sorry and stays within 4/10 of Patrick Spangler. Corinna trying to the slider line to see if that can work. His drivers are starting to struggle here. We're on the high side of Knoxville. Here comes Gavin Chatham trying to pounce for 5th on Rick Main at the same time. But drivers going all over the Marion County Fairgrounds here at the moment. With 20 laps to go, it's still Spangler by 3/10.
Yeah, you're looking at the racetrack right now. The entire middle lane absolutely rubbered up the corners as Brandon Dittmer back down to the inside of Patrick Spangler. Spangler all the way up to the high side. Dittmer down alongside the berm through the corners. He's going to give the advantage to Spangler on the exit. He gets that bite he needed to pull away. He's down on the inside lane. We had a lap car go around, but he's well off the racing surface. I do believe we're going to be able to stay green here as Dittmer back to the inside of Spangler again. Working our way around. Less than 20 laps to go. Going to be 17 to go this time. Spangler leads the way. Dittmer 2nd. Griggs in that 3rd spot. He's got a little bit of a gap there over Ross Corinna as Corinna in 4th. Rick Main in that 5th spot, but he's got Gavin Chatham right there behind him.
That was Armando Malgoza in the 79 that spun. We stay green, or 78 rather. Not the best exit that Dittmer wanted. Could open up a chance for Chad Griggs for the 2 spot. One of your best battles on track happening right here for 2nd. And Griggs gets a great launch off for turn number 2. He's there on the tank of Dittmer. Triple threat match for the race lead. Coming to 16 to go at the line. It's still Spangler, Dittmer, then Griggs, Corinna, Main, Chatham. That's the top 6.
Yeah, great battles all throughout as the battle for the top spot picks right back up. Patrick Spangler using the high lane, getting the bite that he wants off the corners, but Brandon Dittmer diving in deep down on the inside lane, having a back off of it just a wee bit as he clipped a little bit of that berm. He's got Chad Griggs all over the tank right behind him as they will navigate their way through. Less than 15 laps to go. Lap car down on the inside lane. That's the 25 of Jacob Mossow. He's going to come into play here as the leader's going to have to piggyback each other through the corner. Spangler, he's going to touch the right rear on the wall that time. It actually looked like giving him a little bit of a speed boost, but here comes Chad Griggs now. He'll take a look down to the inside of Brandon Dittmer. Top three, nose to tail, all the way down the back straightaway with Patrick Spangler still in control of the field, but here comes 3 wide for the lead.
Dittmer got a little bit tight. Here comes Chad Griggs up to second. Races off the lead. Slide job by Chad Griggs. It's time to go to work, says Chad Griggs. And look at this wad of lap traffic the leaders are going to approach. That will be a factor. Griggs slams the door on Spangler. Slow car on the way. That's J.J. Boydell. Spangler out of the groove. Dittmer races for second, and Chad Griggs is trying to run away with it with 12 laps to go. But Griggs getting held up, and look at the run for Spangler. He thrusts the needle. 3 wide for the race lead here in Knoxville. They're wing to wing in the corner. Chad Griggs still with the edge for right now. Oh,
nearly 4
Spangler
wide with lap
catches
traffic.
Griggs.
Oh, no.
So close corners racing at its finest.
Wow, what a battle for the top spot as they work their way through the freeway rush hour traffic right there. Chad Griggs going to edge out to the race lead as Patrick Spangler going to try to get him back. Spangler up top as Griggs working his way through some additional lap traffic. There's still a gaggle of them right there as Spangler, he'll have the advantage right now, closing up to the backside of the Chad Griggs machine. Less than 10 laps to go. Griggs leads the way. Spangler second. Dittmer in third. As lap traffic going to move up, lets the leaders go on by. Will Patrick Spangler, get the same courtesy that the rest of the guys gave there to Chad Griggs for the top spot? We'll have to see as they work their way down the back straightaway. Chad Griggs, Patrick Spangler, Brandon Dittmer, the top 3.
Close call for Gavin Chatham as he caught the wall, but there is still a gaggle car.
Oh, no!
Oh, trouble! That Spangler got caught up in it. And maybe another driver, maybe Rick May. Yes, it was May that got involved. It's a car flipping. It's Morris. And it is not over yet. 8 laps to go at Knoxville. And a late race yellow. Wow. And now we can take a deep breath. Here's how this was caused. Morris, was there contact from Spangler? There was. Now, how's the damage on the right side? And a part of that, Ross Corinna. That is a heartbreak for the boss. As his Knoxville Nationals may be over.
2 of the quickest cars that we had inside the top 10 getting collected in that one. Unfortunately, picking up some damage. Patrick Spangler, one of those getting damaged. They were as well as Corinna and Maine, as you mentioned. But so far, looks like both drivers going to try to keep their way out on the racetrack. No, Ricky May going to take a pit side. Jacob Morris calls it a night in his machine as we'll see if Maine's able to continue on. Yes, he will. He'll take advantage of that fast repair, but Marty, he's not going to have a lot of time to work his way up towards the front, but we've seen him do it in just about the same amount of times at the start of this one.
Regardless of this has been a hell of a performance tonight from Rick Main in the 187. Trying to pull a Doug Wolfgang here at the Knoxville Nationals. And he led laps early in this one. He has had a contending race car, but it's going to be very tough to get back up to the top 5 with 8 laps to go.
So lights are off on the pace car. Going to be another single file restart for this one, Marty, with 8 laps to go here. I don't think guys like Maine are going to have the opportunity to come up from the back, but maybe someone at the tail end of the top 10 that's been saving a little bit finally going to flip that switch and work their way up. We'll have to see.
Well, was that caution what Patrick Spangler wanted, or did the damage hurt him potentially? We'll just have to wait and find out. And the lights are back on. We'll go an extra lap. Haven't talked yet a lot about the Hard Knocks winner, Gavin Chatham, taking advantage of this yellow. He'll restart now in the 3rd position.
He's had a very strong, quiet run in tonight's Knoxville Nationals A Main, and it's been pretty impressive to watch what he's done so far. And You know, you look a couple cars behind him as well. Joseph Grandy, a guy that didn't get any warm-up laps tonight.
He flipped tonight.
Coming in late. He did flip as well. Now running in the 5th spot here with just 8 laps to go.
The intensity has been turned up to the max here in the 7th annual Mike Westbrook Memorial 360 Knoxville Nationals. Chad Griggs, Patrick Spangler, Gavin Chatham or the field. We're about to find out. Griggs waiting to fire a later launch for the 27. We're back to green. Chatham is there on the 39 of Patrick Spangler in the race for second. But Spangler gets the better exit compared to the 99. Kid Spangler reel in the 27, but Spangler catches the right rear with the wall. Everybody hanging on up on the cushion. 6 laps of racing to go. Griggs looking to go back to back. Spangler looking for his third. Chatham wants his first.
Yeah, good battle for the 4th spot right there for just a moment as we'll go to the battle for second.
Look
Spangler
at
up top.
this.
Chatham with a big slider. He's going to get by. It's just behind them. Brandon Dittmer briefly losing the wing on that machine. Gets that right back as out front. We continue to watch Chad Griggs lead the way. 5 laps to go. Spangler. Now here comes Chatham to the inside. Going to be side by side for the 2nd spot. Trying to work their way further up the podium. Big slider right there by Chatham. Now Spangler going to go for the crossover move. He dives
we got
down
trouble in the front.
side.
And that's Dimmer.
Oh, man.
Dimmer in the 83 was sideways. He saved it, but was that the cause of the yellow? I think it was. If that was, that is heartbreak for the 83.
Well, Marty, I'm watching Brandon Dittmer's camera right now, and you could see the heartbreak on his face right there as the caution came out, and I do believe his car was sideways enough to bring out that caution flag.
Ah, the career run for the Spider Monkey, and you saw the emotions there. Heartbreak, the agony of defeat. Here's a look. Just biked it. And he got caught from Grandy there in the 518. That's something where, you know, it's don't hate the player, hate the game, and legitimately hate the game in this point, because we've seen iRacing and a bunch of wrecks tonight not bring out any yellows when they easily could have been. This one was an iRacing yellow that could not have been.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Dittmer would have been able to catch it and keep going and potentially hold on to a spot just outside the top 5, maybe towards the tail of the top 10, but he still would have been up there. Now he's worked his way to pit lane, going to take advantage of that fast repair, get his car all cleaned up, see what he can do to grind his way up from what looks like the 16th position here in the closing laps. And by the way, just a quick update, Rick Mayne back up to the 13th position. Not going to have enough time, I don't believe, to get back up here, but a hell of a run for Rick Mayne nonetheless here throughout tonight's soup and late in this one. But up front, Patrick Spangler, he had that contact on the previous caution. I think it's upsetting the car just a little bit, but not enough for him to really want to go down pit road, give up track position, and have to shuffle his way back up through the field. He's holding on to second. He's the second quickest car right now. I think Gavin Chatham and potentially Joseph Grandy might have something for him here as we're coming back to green.
Griggs to take them to the bottom this time here for this restart. 3 laps of race to go here at the Knoxville Nationals. Gavin Chatham underneath now on Patrick Spangler, and the 99 car moves up to second. The man that won the Hard Knocks way last night has a chance to become a Nationals champion, possibly. 2 sticks in the air this time by with 2 laps to go. And Grandy up on the wall. Caution flag waves. We're not done yet. Robert, you saw it better than me.
Yeah, all I saw right there was Trevor Frank come up the racetrack right into the side of Joseph Grandy, sends him flying up into the outside wall, loses the wing. Both of those cars losing the top wing there is unfortunately for Joseph Grandy. He had himself a real strong piece. Now going to have to take a pit side and likely done for the Knoxville Nationals.
On board with the 518. Yeah. Slider, I don't know. It's just a ball and strike deal. 50-50 slider, as they would say at times. But a great comeback for Grandy. Just falls short.
One thing to note here, Marty, this will bring up overtime in the Knoxville Nationals, the first of a potential 2 green-white checkered attempts. So if we get another caution and go into that second green-white checkered attempt, the next flag after that green will end this race. So hopefully able to get it done on the first overtime opportunity.
And something to add here, too. If that yellow came out a couple seconds later, Gavin Chatham would have restarted in the second position. So 2 big breaks that Patrick Spangler gets in that 39, but also maybe a break that Chad Griggs gets. Will be the longest 2 laps of his life as he's looking to go back-to-back, as we'll go 1 more lap to the green flag. Lights go off now. Again, looking to go back-to-back, which no driver has ever done in the 7-year history of the Mike Westbrook Memorial Knoxville Nationals. Spangler second. Chatham third. Trevor Frank, Mason Hine, both with good runs tonight. They round out the top 5. Who is going to take this one in the end? We're about to find out. First of 2 attempts of the green-white checkered in the 360 Nationals. We're back to green. Greg's able to hold serve. Chatham tried to dive in there on corner exit. The 99 car throws in the slider here through 3 and 4. Catches the wall just a little bit. White flag flies. 1 lap to go, though, for Chad Griggs. And the TJ up number 27. Big slider from Patrick Spangler. Chatham and Spangler will race for second. But Chad Griggs in his Rich D PC ride makes his way through turns number 3 and 4. For the first time ever, we've got a back-to-back Knoxville National Champion. Chad Griggs takes the win. Spangler in second. Chatham, the Hard Knocks winner, to finish in third. Trevor Frank fourth. Mason Hine fifth. Jeff Barker from a provisional tonight to finish sixth. Isaac Bowman seventh. Ted York eighth. Rick May ninth. And Brandon Dittmer 10th. The latter 2 coming back after heartbreak. But folks, Chad Griggs, now a 2-time winner of the Knoxville Nationals, and he has enough fuel to do a donut.
Incredible drive right there by Chad Griggs, doubling down and going back-to-back. Congratulations to him. Congratulations as well to Patrick Spangler and Gavin Chatham. Great drive by all 3 of those drivers, and special shout-out to Chatham, working his way up 18 positions gained to come home on the podium with a shot at the win there late.
13 drivers finish on the lead lap at the end. Brandon Dittmer giving his handshakes there. Mentioned your top 10. A lot of drivers with some heartbreaks tonight. Roger Craig and Dean Reynolds both fading back throughout this one. The Moose family 18th and 19th this evening. And there you see the rest of the field tonight. And so we are ready to go, and we're going to go third through first here this time once we get Chatham and Griggs here into the room. But it's been a great week of Knoxville Nationals action. And we're going to start things off with Patrick Spangler here in the 39. Robert, we'll let you take this one.
Well, Patrick, you came up 1 spot short, but not without throwing absolutely everything at it here tonight. First off, walk us through your race tonight, and how are you feeling after that second place finish?
Pretty good. Chad's always lightning fast here, so finishing second to him is nothing to hang your head on. If I wanted to save fuel and tires, I would run late models. It doesn't feel right trying to save tires and fuel in a sprint car, so I just ran it how I would normally. I wanted to get up to the lead first to kind of set the pace, and then once I got in the lead, I mean, if we're running like NASCAR, might as well use the mirror. So I'm running half throttle, 3/4 throttle in the turns, and then if people are getting close, I'm gas up, so I'm not getting slid in the next corner. So I'm just trying to save where I can and end up with 0.1 gallons left. So just enough to finish. I was able to reach, or Gavin went to the high side. I was able to slide it back in turn 3 and 4. So I was able to save second, but Chad was in different time zone there.
Well, you got a piece of an incident late in that one. How was the car feeling afterwards?
It was fine. My tires are definitely. I don't even know what my tires are at. I'll have to check, but yeah, I know when we're going through lap cars, me and Chad were dicing through there, and we almost made it 4 wide. I backed out of it a little bit, but then we still caught, and we were able to keep it straight. So that was a pretty close one. But yeah, I got dicey there for a little bit in lap traffic. It was fun.
Well, Patrick, the floor is now yours. Any shout outs you'd like to give here tonight after your second place run?
Yeah, just to you and Marty for being the Ironmen this week and broadcasting. Jack, Jeff, and Dean from the league, everything they do, and all the sponsors that help put all the door prizes and money towards the different spots where you finish, you win money. Velocity Race Designs for the wrap. My dad for watching back home. Wife for letting me race, and yeah, another fun one.
Well, congratulations on the great run here tonight.
Thanks.
Patrick Spangler, our runner-up finisher. We'll go to Gavin Chatham, finishing third tonight.
You could be kidding.
Gavin, great run for you. From the Hard Knocks win to finishing third, I do want to ask you this, though. If that final caution came out a couple seconds later, you would have finished second. Did you think you had something for Chad at the end?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly frustrating. I mean, it's not frustrating because it come from 21st to third is awesome, but that second to last restart, I think Chad kind of he switched up the start there, and looked like we were going to start on top. Then he ducked to the bottom real quick, and I think it threw me and Patrick both off. But Patrick, he looked like he spun the tires really, really bad. I got such a great run. I cleared him. But when I cleared him, I was right on Chad's bumper, and I was, ready to make the move there, setting them up to make a move there, and then the caution came out. And actually, I thought I was still in good shape because we had crossed the line, but it gave Patrick a spot back. I'm not really sure why it did that, but all in all, you can't be too upset with a 21st or third. But yeah, no, definitely, any one of the top three there could have won that race. And congrats to Chad and congrats to Patrick as well. And it was an awesome race with Patrick there at the end. But that definitely had a shot to win it. Just the caution didn't fall our way.
What was working for you throughout the night tonight?
A little bit of everything, that's what I was actually just talking to Chad about, starting 21st, you kind of had to do a little bit of everything. You had to run the middle, the bottom, the top. And I think it actually helped save the car a little bit too there, because at the end I felt pretty good. I didn't feel like the car was really gone. I mean, it was, but it still felt pretty good. And, it was, I think that was just helping starting the back there. I mean, you don't want to ever start in the back, obviously, because there's just so much that can happen. And I kind of had to set goals for myself to be in the top 10 by a certain point in time, and then the top 5, and try to actually maybe even have a shot at this. And some things did go our way. When we hit lap traffic there, I was able to split through some people pretty good in the middle. And also I think a product of starting in the back too. You had to run all the different lines, so I kind of knew what the lines were going to do, or what they felt like at least. So yeah, no, I mean, just a little bit of everything was working good. And then everything else comes into play too as well. Conserving tire and fuel. I mean, I don't think anybody could make it just from fuel alone. They had to save at some point. So yeah, no, it was just a really good fun race, and just a really good run for us as well.
Who do you want to give shout outs to?
First, I just want to thank you guys for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. It's always fun coming up here talking to you guys. I want to thank everybody with Coast to Coast Racing, all the admin sponsors, Dean, Jeff, everybody that helped put this on all week. It's been super fun being a part of it this year. I unfortunately haven't been able to make it out the first couple times being in this league, but finally got to make it and then have a good run here is really awesome. But I just want to thank everybody that puts this on and allows us to come out here and do it, and the Westbrook family as well. Just want to thank the fans or I want to thank Phantom Motorsports, Velocity Race Design, Mike Schick Motorsports Design, Chatham Motorsports, Iron Peak Performances, want to thank all the sponsors, all the support we get. I just want to thank the fans for coming out and watching this race. I hope we put on a good show for y'all. It's definitely exciting and frustrating in the driver's seat for sure, but it was a lot of fun. And I just want to thank my fans as well for also coming out and watching the races.
Alrighty, man. Great job tonight, and best of luck down the road. All right.
All right, thanks, Marty. Always good talking to you, and we'll catch you around.
Yes, you as well. Gavin Chatham finishing third, but we now move to our Knoxville Nationals champion, Chad Griggs in the 27. You go back-to-back in the Natties. How's it feel?
Pretty crazy, to be honest with you. It was a wild night. Very stressful, to say the least.
Take me through the strategy here throughout the night. I think you led early, then Isaac Bowman got past you. It looked like maybe you were saving some fuel, and then you got back into it and got the win.
Yeah, so it's tough in these things because of the fuel. I did a bunch of testing with the fuel, and I knew for a fact that I couldn't go run the top and actually race for my position to hold the lead or whatever if we don't get a bunch of cautions. So in my mind, I was thinking early on, okay, if we get a caution, lap 2, 3, whatever, that's probably going to be the precedent and we'll get a bunch of cautions. But we had that first long run of, I don't know, 9 or 10 laps. I think we ran caution free to start the race. And that really kind of put me in, oh no, because I'm going to have to be stuck down here on the bottom saving fuel if we're going to get long green flag runs in, because if not, if I don't save fuel, I'm not going to have enough fuel if we don't get a bunch of cautions. So then we finally got to, I think it was about halfway through, there was 25 to go. I had a 5-lap buffer, which is what I like to have if I've been running the bottom, because if I go to the top, then I'm going to burn a lot more fuel than I had been on the bottom, and that's going to kind of even itself out. So I let myself fall back to, like, I don't know, maybe 7th or something. And with 25 to go, I had that little buffer, and I was like, we got to get up top and try to race for some of these spots back and put ourselves in position. So that's what I did, and it worked, luckily.
How was going through this lap traffic? I mean, that was, for me personally, I don't know about you, that was more lap traffic in a gaggle of cars than I've ever seen in the past.
That was terrifying. We'll just say that, because at that time, I think that Patrick Spangler and I, at that very time where we were fighting through all that lap traffic, he was fighting me for the lead. And I think there was a spot there where Patrick and I actually touched, and luckily we got separated. Well, then that put me into a lap car, and I got kind of tangled with a lap car, and I was just sitting there praying that I don't get net coated and break my car or something. And luckily got separated and then just kind of smoothed out from there. But yeah, you nailed it there. That was hairy going through lap traffic, fighting for the lead.
Well, I know you're going to celebrate this one a long time. Who do you want to give shout-outs to?
First and foremost, thank you, all you guys in the broadcast that do this all week long. It's a lot of work, but you all do a good service and a great job. It's fun to go back and watch after the fact. Thank C2C for putting on the event. Jeff and Dean and Jack Hitt and everybody behind the scenes that pours their time and effort into making this work. Be it not for a lot of the net code events this week that I don't think anybody likes or enjoys. They're not fun, and you're always kind of worried about it when you're running around people. Outside of that, I think, they all did a fantastic job, and glad we're able to put on a show for, the Westbrook family, raise money for their cause. So thankful for all that. Thank my team, TJM. And I'd also like to thank Josh Whiteman for hooking me up with a sporty new paint job for this week. I finally decided it was time to bring out something new.
Well, enjoy this. Congratulations. Back-to-back Knoxville champion. Well done.
Thank you, Marty.
Chad Griggs gets the job done, and Robert will bring the cameras back on here. What a night, and what a week to close this out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great week. Congratulations to Chad Griggs on going back to back. And, I just want to thank you for bringing me back into the booth for this great event. It's always an honor to come and do these charity events with you guys. And these guys always put on a fantastic show. So for you fans at home, thanks for tuning in. To the drivers, thank you for participating in these events. And thank you to the admins here that put so much work into these great shows and working with these charities to help support them. It's definitely an honor to be part of it.
Absolutely. Same as. Well, for those of you that are coast-to-coast regulars, we hope you tune in next week. Monday Night Madness at Fallujah, Hometown Heroes at Eldora and I-55. Thursday Night Thunder is at Houston. So we look forward to the next charity race, whatever that may be, and we will talk to you then. On behalf of everyone here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the fine drivers, sponsors, and admins, on behalf of Robert Hill Jr., Marty Sakala saying so long. Congratulations to Chad Griggs, a back-to-back champion in the Knoxville Nationals. So long, everyone.